I got a nice Green Bay Packer fossil watch I got as a gift. I'm not wearing that every day. If it gets smashed, I'm gonna be crying. $12 watch, it's smashed, well.
I like this one. It was a Timex, but because it's got a real low,
Green Bay
it
Packer.
doesn't stick up very far, so we're working on.
Yeah. I'm gonna cry.
But yeah, it was a big production. Just for.
It's a lot. He's on it.
Yeah, well, it keeps good time when it works. Even when it doesn't work, it's right twice.
Yep.
You know, it's amazing when you're so used to when you don't have one. And you had one your whole life and all of a sudden you don't have one. Even today, I kept looking at it. I don't know. I didn't have a watch. I kept looking at my watch.
At your wrist.
Yeah. College with a guy who Timex had a contest and he drew up a watch design. And he drew a red dot in it. And he won the contest. And it, it was, I don't know, $2,000 or something. They never paid him. And so we were in college and his mom was gonna, get an attorney or something and go after Timex because they never paid him his money. He was from Antigo. And I wonder,
did he ever get paid?
Yeah, if he ever get paid. I remember he always used to look at everybody's watches to see if it was on. Yeah, that red circle.
What was the purpose of the red
I
dot?
don't know. I think it was just the, color. There was no color in watches back then. It was like a sports watch, sports design. Vouchers.
It did.
They were.
We already passed them.
Yeah, they went through already.
Did you write the number?
No. Is it no? I wasn't paying attention. He's looking through stuff.
You have a second string clerk.
Be forgiving.
Just be happy. Max, are we recording? We are recording. Okay. It is 5:00 on Tuesday, June 24th, 2025. I will call this regular town board meeting of the town of LaPointe to order. Roll call: Mike Anderson.
Here.
Amy Baxter.
Here.
Sue Brenna.
Here.
Samantha Dobson.
Here.
Glenn Carlson here. We also have our town administrator, Max Imholt, with us and members of the audience of community. Public comment A, any public comment? John?
Yeah, on town hall administration, you've got electrical easements with Excel Energy for Ashland County and Dayton County. I don't know how much easement you're gonna be getting, but Excel is spending millions of dollars to bring over 2 brand new power lines to help the island because we're promoting young families to move here. We have an affordable housing committee to make houses here, and our electrical grid is pretty ancient. If anybody wants to put an electric vehicle outlet on their home, I have to call Excel Energy to see if they will handle it. I'm just thinking they're putting a lot of money into our island. I don't know what you're getting or what it costs to talk to a lawyer. But I think it's, you know, kind of nitpicking here for what they're gonna be giving us.
Thank you, John. Paul?
Understand, someone at the library is retiring this fall. If so, please consider not replacing that position, leaving it on fill as a way to save money for the taxpayers in Silent.
Thank you, Paul.
Especially in the winter, because how many librarians need no one?
Thank you, Paul. Any other public comment? Okay, moving on. Administrative reports, town administrators report. Anybody have any questions or comments for Max?
I was wondering, did we get somebody to do the chapel cleaning? Cause I was thinking if we're gonna get an outside contractor for the bathrooms, maybe add the chapel to that account, add that. So that it makes it more of an interest to them to do more things.
The chapel.
It's cleaned by Parks, but the people that gave the money want it done better and with more time put into it. And so if we could get somebody to do the chapel and the bathrooms, I think that would be helpful.
Great idea. Any other questions or comments on Max's report? Okay, do we have the unanimous consent placed on file?
Yes.
Yes.
Moving on, public works, road, stock and harbor. I don't think we have anything. Same with parks. Moving on, committee minutes. We've got several committee minutes to look at. Anyone have any questions or comments on those?
Comment, I was pleased to see that the community fund is supporting renovations at the skate park. It's in much need,
Yeah,
so it's very utilized
great.
part of our community for the kids. So
Definitely.
kudos.
Thank you. Any other comments on the committee minutes? We have unanimous consent, place those on file.
Yes.
Next, zoning board of appeals. We have one board member whose term has come up, and Dave Boone has asked to be reappointed. And so we need a motion to reappoint David Boone to the zoning board of appeals for a term ending June 30th, 2028.
I'll make a motion to appoint David Boone to the zoning board of appeals for a term ending June 30th, 2020.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next, budget summary report. Things continue to generally look positive. The only thing I think that is of some concern is the police wages through the end of May were almost half of the annual budget. So I think we're going to need to keep an eye on that as we move forward. Does anyone else have any comments or? Is there a motion to approve the budget summary report?
Make a motion to approve the budget summary report. I'll second.
And seconded, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on, discussion of the false call policy. I guess that's the false alarm policy enforcement for the fire department, and you all have copies of our ordinance. Ordinance number 119, alarm systems. And there at this point is,
What you said, 119, I got.
right, it's 188 at the top. That's on the our ordinance code.
Okay, so on the chapter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And currently, basically where an alarm user has 12 or more false alarms within a 6-month period, the police department may suspend response That seems to be, we don't have, I don't believe, do we have a fee for false alarms?
It says according to the fee agreement. And
That's wrong.
schedule of fees for, I don't see any.
I thought it was suggested that it be 500.
I wrote the ordinance and it was written, they get 3 strikes a year. And the 4th time that is false, and it was in order to get people, to force people to get good alarm systems. No more getting up at 2 a.m. for the fire department, the police and whatever to run out to the north end of the island. And the taxpayer has to pay them for what? Because somebody doesn't want a good alarm system. So I wrote an ordinance and I don't know where this information came from. This is not even close. Like this, there was after okay, so we'll take Paul Brummer for example. If he had
Please do.
3 alarms in a year, each time, whether it would be the police, they would alert Barb of the date and the time of the false alarm. Then she'd send them a letter to whoever the owner was. So they do that 3 times. Then the 4th time, you can charge a fee for it. You can't charge a fine, but you can charge a fee because you can put a fine onto the taxes for the tax roll. And so if they don't want to pay their taxes, they obviously do. And that's how you collect your money. You can't charge a fine for it. So anyway, that's how we did it. And at that time that I wrote it, the fire department didn't want involvement in it. But how I look at it now is, just for example, on Sunday, there was a call to the very north end of the island. And the fire department and the police and everybody had to go out there because there was 2 smoldering brush, people didn't put their fires out. Well, why should the taxpayers pay for it? Let the person who was in charge of that pay for it. And that was why the ordinance was written to begin with. And how this, I don't know. Max, you said you can.
Smoking fire is different than false alarms.
Well,
I think that's 2 different things.
it is. But it's under the same premise,
Right.
And I do not know where this is not what I wrote. And in cases where the alarm user has 12 or more false alarms within a 6-month period, that's if somebody has an alarm system, and I'm not going to name names, but there were people on the island who had alarm systems who were going off every other night. Would get woken up at 2 and 3 in the morning and have to run out to the north end and because somebody's alarm system.
There's nothing wrong.
Right.
What's that?
And there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Isn't that why you wanted to have it as a fee, fine? Because that way if it's a fine, you got to go to court, or if it's a fee, it's.
You can't charge, you can't, you can put a fee on the tax roll. So anyway, that's how this all came about. And I'm at the position now that I think the fire department, whether they like it or not, I think they should be a part of it. And I think it should go back to the way it was. I think, I don't know when it stopped. That stopped. It rarely happens. Forces people to, anyway.
Okay, thank you, Mike. I think my sense, Max, is you were really looking for some sort of sense of the board about what we wanted to do and not necessarily adopt something tonight. Does anyone else have any thoughts on doing what Mike is suggesting, having an expansion of this to include the fire department and also to have it be the 4th offense, that we send letters after each false alarm and that the 4th one incurs let's say a $500 fee.
Are we currently sending letters out?
I don't.
Because
I don't
I
think.
mean, if not, then yes.
I think this all stopped years ago. And that was my point at the other meeting that we had. When did this stop? And why did it stop? And I found out nobody does it anymore. And I'm thinking, why? Why don't people do this again? Because it's not hard to do.
Okay.
It's you notify, in this case, it'd be Liz. that on this date at this time, this happened. And then she has a standard form letter that she just fills out, puts it in the mail, they get it. And then after 3 times, then you start charging a fee. And I don't know where all that information went or where it is, but it's here somewhere.
What is the consensus of the rest of the board?
Yeah, I think it's great. 3 letters and then a fine or
The fee,
fee.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Any other comments on that? Okay, thank you. Moving on.
Reading this as a first.
First reading, yeah. So Max is going to work on that and come back with modifications based on Mike's comments.
Okay.
Next is we've got to renew the lease that Grandpa Tony's has to use a portion of the Russell Park. And that is, we're charging them 25 cents a square foot, and the $200 annual fee comes to $280 altogether, for about 320 square feet of parkland. So do we have a motion to approve the lease, Grandpa Tony's?
I'll make a motion to approve the lease of the Town of La Pointe agreement for use of.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next, electrical easement, and we have to do 2, one for the Ashland County side of things and one for the Bayfield County side over the Bayfield Ferry Dock. Max has looked into this. We have consulted with an attorney. We did talk to Excel, and their standard practice is to pay $500 for each agreement. And so I propose that we approve these easements pending payment of $500 apiece.
Do you want to do them separately? Or, you want to do them separately, each county?
Yeah, why don't we do that? Yeah,
I'll make a motion. Which one do you want to do first? Ashland County?
Ashland.
I'll make a motion to approve the easement agreement with Ashland or with Excel for Ashland County.
Second.
Moved and seconded, and this is subject to the $500 payment.
For the $500 easement.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And I'll make,
Yep.
same thing. I'll make a motion to approve the Excel agreement easement for Bayfield County for $500.
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Next, we have a appointment to the library board.
I'll make a motion to approve the appointment of Peggy Ross to the library board for term ending June 20th, 2028.
30th.
June 30th, 2028.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we've got an attachment B to the 2025 compensation resolution. Apparently, the library has had difficulty recruiting and needed to have us increase the rates for the rec assistant, the rec director, the rec assistant 3, and we also have one in here for parks, Trevor Kruger, who has, because of vacancies, taken over the Parks 1 position.
Do they have this in their budget?
Well, as far as the library is concerned, they have a flat dollar budget. My understanding is that this would fit even within their wage budget,
Great.
but it certainly has to fit within their overall budget that we gave them.
I'll make a motion to approve attachment B to the 2025 compensation resolution 2025-0106C.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yeah, I just got a question. Sam might know. You know, that or Annie, for anybody, the assistant 2, in this case, Maddie Rupp, they go from $20 to $30?
Because she's a lifeguard.
And this is for the pool.
I think that's why, right? That's
Just
what
use-
minutes sounded,
Browse.
library minutes, that's what it sounded like. She's a
Yeah, just higher qualifications. I wouldn't put too much weight on the number. It's more or less tells you who they work with. So
Mhm. Okay,
not hierarchy.
thanks, Sam. Any other questions? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is to go into closed session, but I propose that we move that item to just after lawsuits and legal.
I'll make a motion to going to move 5H to after, what do you say? After lawsuits and legal.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, vouchers.
I will make a motion to approve the vouchers in the amount of $18,635.29.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have alternative claims.
I will make a motion to approve the alternative claims in the amount of $310,639.30.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, treasurer's report.
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report with a checking account balance of $878,034.28.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I don't think we have minutes. Alex is on vacation, so we'll pass on that. Emergency services, ambulance, we have an intercept agreement with the Ashland Fire Department. And the big change from the past is that they are no longer going to bill either the insurance company or the patient for intercept transport. They are going to bill the town directly, and then the town is to bill the intercept, the insurance company or the patient.
And our new billing company does this all the time and they're fine with it.
Yep. And it's $475 is the charge per.
Well, if you want to make a motion, but I want to talk about this first, because something I don't understand.
Okay, let's make a motion and second, and then we'll get to discussion.
I'll make a motion to approve the intercept agreement with Ashland Fire.
Moved and seconded, discussion, Mike?
Okay, so it's the ambulance attendant's discretion call for the intercept. So if I fall and break my leg and I'm in pain and they want pain control, they call the intercept. Okay, now you're saying that the Ashland Intercept is going to charge Town of LaPointe. So they charge us and we turn around and bill the patient. Okay, so the patient turns around and says, nah, I'm not paying it because I didn't need it. So now where do we go?
Collection agency.
Well, that's my point. I mean, I'm trying to stay out of the collection agency. Okay. I just don't see. I understand Ashland Intercepts. They want the government to pay for it because the government has money. But I'm looking at it from the view of the patient.
Right.
And they're going to turn around and say, I didn't need that.
The fact of the matter is, Mike, you bring up a good point. We have really almost no choice.
Right, yeah.
If we want them to do our intercept. So any other questions? Yeah.
No.
We will try, and I think that our agency that has been collecting has been doing a really good job. And so keep fingers crossed that that'll continue. Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have, we're right at public comment B. Public comment B. John?
I just hope that the easements that we are getting from Excel cover the lawyer's fees for contacting them.
I'm not even sure that we got charged for that. It was pretty quick.
I haven't seen the monthly statement, but I'm sure it will, this will be, the $1,000 will be way over, whatever. It was just an email exchange.
Okay, any other public comment?
We had too many house alarms years ago, so.
Thank you, Paul. Moving on, we have liquor licenses. We have a temporary picnic license for the LaPointe Center. And they've given the dates, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 different dates this summer for their openings, I guess you'd say. Their motion to approve their picnic license, the Class B temporary picnic license.
I'll make a motion to approve the Class B picnic license for the Point Center Inc. for all 8 dates.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next is the Madeline Island Trails, Inc. Have requested a temporary Class B license for their July 4th barbecue fundraiser at the Rec Center Pavilion. Is there a motion to
Make a
approve that?
motion to approve the Class B picnic license for the Maryland Island Trails Inc. for the 4th of July barbecue fundraiser.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we've got a Class B retail sale of fermented malt beverages license. 2 of them, one for Frankie's Inc., Grandpa Tony's, Susan Flores agent, one for On the Edge Inc., Cafe Seiche, Chris Wolf agent.
I'll make a motion to approve the Class B retail sale of fermented malt beverages license that Glenn just spoke of.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next, we have a Class B liquor license. And this is for On the Edge Cafe Seiche, Chris Wolf agent.
I'll make a motion to approve the Class B liquor license.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Next, we have a Class C wine license for Frankie's Inc., Grandpa Tony's, Susan Flores agent.
I'll make a motion to approve the Class C wine license.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now we have our non-intoxicating beverage licenses for Frankie's Inc., Grandpa Tony's, On the Edge Inc., Cafe Seiche, and Madeline Island Trails.
I'll make a motion to approve the non-intoxicating beverage licenses.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next, item 13, anything new to report on lawsuits or legal, Max?
Yeah, the lawyer in the Anderson case said that the county asked for a chance to present some additional briefing. And our lawyer didn't think we would have to spend any more money. The implication is the tax commission's decision, whatever time they allow for the county to provide some, they have 90 days after that. So we're at least 3-4 months away getting a decision.
Because they've asked us.
Well, the county asked for permission to provide additional information.
Who gives them permission?
The tax commission.
Mm.
They get another 90 days after.
It's so many 90
We've
days.
been
I know.
waiting for.
Well, the only bright spot is the amount that's at issue keeps growing as time continues to go on. And so, we just continue to hope for a good resolution of this, and then we will hopefully receive some dollars from Ashland County, significant dollars.
Mhm.
Okay, anything else on that, Max? And on the sergeant claim, nothing. Okay. Moving on, we have, the town board may go into closed session during the meeting for purpose of considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility in which it is or likely to become involved in accordance with Wisconsin statute 19.851C. After the completion of the closed session, the board will come back into open session to act upon the discussion in the closed session or otherwise complete the business of the meeting before adjourning. And this is for the purpose of discussion of the zoning administrator candidate's possible hiring. Is there a motion to go into closed? Okay, we are back in open session. And we were discussing candidates for zoning administrator. The town board has reached a decision. And is anybody prepared to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we hire Richard Kula for the zoning administrator position starting
Monday?
Monday and with a option of a 10% increase in the pay after a 90-day evaluation.
Based
I'll
on,
second.
Moved and seconded. And the starting pay is $26.65. So 10% on top of that is what you're talking about. Okay. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
What was his last name?
Kula, Kula. And he was with the FAA for about 30 years. And was responsible for environmental compliance, finance, and I'm missing one other thing, for 650 airports in the Midwest.
And planning.
Batteries.
What's that?
And wristwatch batteries.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
that's it. Just want to know.
thank you. Any other questions? Okay, moving on, agenda items for future meetings. Well, we've got the minutes.
Right?
We'll be having the second reading on that.
Yeah, the second reading of that, yeah.
Second reading on.
All ones.
and Max, if you could look, I'll talk to you both.
Anything else? Any other items? And, you know, if you come up with something,
Oh, we need the cleaning contract.
yes, cleaning contract.
Okay.
Thank you, Amy. Anybody else? And again, if you think of something, let me know or let Max know. Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second, moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries, meeting's adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
And Max, will you give Rich a call
Yes.
and indicate what we did? Thank you.
Max, if you, I don't know where you'd even start looking, ask
Oh,
for
I've
Gene.
got some stuff.
He's on.
Oh,
They're looking for what?
When the ordinance that I wrote